Hey guys, so welcome to our team meeting for tonight. It's May 9th, and I'm so excited about our team call, and I'm just really. Okay. So I don't know about you guys, but I feel a much better energy already this month, and I just feel like it's probably because of the personal development challenge that we're doing, and I just have been loving seeing everybody check in with their PD, and I know I've added to my list of books, that I want to get started and to read, and I've also loved seeing everyone's posts for the posting guide, because when I make the posting guide every week, like what my idea for my own post would be for the, particular subjects, it's totally different than how Sarah interprets it and how Jenny interprets it. So it's been so cool, and it's given me so many ideas on what to post about, because it gets hard, especially 5 years into the business, to always be posting and coming up with new ideas and new ways to share about your fitness journey and about Shakeology and those kind of things. So I really appreciate you guys sharing your posts and staying consistent with that. You guys should have gotten an email from me today. It was my first little team newsletter I sent out, and it had information for tonight's call, information for the Bombshell Dynasty call, which is on Wednesday, and also, what else? There was something else. Information for Winter Summit. If you have not looked into Winter Summit, or you don't know about Winter Summit yet, I just gave the page for you to look into doing that, which is later this year. So that was something new I'm putting together to send out so that you guys are always in the know on the team calls and stuff like that. And I particularly I usually post about the Bombshell Dynasty call in case you want to hop on, but I think that this one is going to be really, really good. It's with Nikki Johnson, and she's really into the whole blogging thing, and that's how she's built most of her business. And she's going to be talking about creating lifers and duplicating your success. And I know that is something that we talk about a lot, and something that I know for me personally and a lot of the other leaders on our team, that is one of the biggest struggles in building your business and, achieving diamond, star diamond, elite, and those kind of things is duplication. So definitely put that on your calendar, put it on your radar to watch the replay if you're not able to be on a call in the middle of the afternoon, but I think it's going to be a really good one. So anyways, let's get on to our topic for tonight. Let me look at the chat. I use Constant Contact for my newsletter, and it might be in your junk mail. And if you are multiple levels down, then I might not have gotten your email address in my sponsorship drill down. And, oh, you did get it. Okay, cool. All right, so tonight we have a special guest speaker, and we have Christian Stone. She is a coach that I met from originally going to my first retreat that Scotty Hobbs held in Salt Lake City. I guess it was almost 2 years ago now. And so she's one of his personally sponsored coaches. And I remember at that time that she was not a diamond coach yet. And she was, working her way up to getting there. And she was a great recruiter and everything. And so it's been so cool to kind of watch her grow and develop into her own leadership qualities and build her team. And then we also got to spend some time together in Dominican Republic, which was awesome. And we got to meet her husband and stuff. So anyways, as we've been working together in Scotty's team, going for 15-star superstar team for Scotty, I reached out to some of the leaders in there just to kind of for some of them to host on ours and I'll host on theirs and vice versa, because it's always so great to be able to learn from other people and from other teams and just get some outside perspective on things. So anyways, I'm going to pass it over to Christian. So thank you so much for being on our call tonight.
She needs to be unmuted.
Christian, you're on mute.
It worked. I'm sorry. Okay, is my screen okay?
Yeah, well, we see you.
Okay, so I'm going to switch that over. Hi, I'm right here, but I'm going to go over to screen share. But first of all, Jen, you are a fantastic coach. Thank you for letting me be here with all of you. I was able to sit in last week and kind of get a feel for your group. And I'm really high energy, and Jen is just so calm and just smooth. And I love that about her. She's very sensitive, and I really learned a lot. And what I wanted to go over is what I'm really excited about, which is, I'm going to screen share here. I'm not really comfortable yet. There we go. Are we good? All right, so I will tell you a little bit about myself. I am very passionate about anything that I do. And so when I first got into the business, I actually had ran 3 to 4 businesses prior to this. The first business I started was a day spa. I was a massage therapist. And the second thing I ended up getting into, I saw there was a lot of hours and it was really physically taxing. So I decided to go with a different avenue as working for corporate America, and that did not work well for me at all. I worked a lot of hours and was unappreciative, and I thought, I'm making somebody else rich. Why would I do this? I'm moving on. So my husband and I ended up taking some real estate investment classes in Arizona. We were 21 at the time, and we moved back to Montana. I ended up flipping 5 houses that first year while my husband was working construction, and in the evening he would come help me finish on the houses. So I was marketing, I was doing construction, physical labor, figuring out the market and real estate, all of those things. Did really well with it, and then the crash in 2009. And a month later we found out we were pregnant. So I decided I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and add a lot of value to my family, but I also needed to do something I was passionate as well. I'm a natural entrepreneur. So I decided to get into owning a daycare out of our home. I built it within 2 years. My daughter was 2 years old when we first started. I was pregnant with my second. And then through my third pregnancy, 2 weeks after my third son, I decided to close the business. During those 2 years, I had built it from barely getting $50 a week to 6 figures annually with 2 employees. One of the things that I really hated about it is that I had employees and I did not enjoy that. So I ended up leaving that, sacrificing my income to be home with my kids. And then again, I had lost everything that meant something to me on a passionate level, which was doing entrepreneurial things. And so I decided to just start getting into reading. I hadn't read for a long time. I had neglected doing personal development. I've always been into personal development. Funny thing is I had no one forcing me to do it or adding it to my plate in regards to work. So I decided to read 2 books, Proverbs 31 Woman, and the second one was The 1 Minute Millionaire. My husband was reading a book by Robert Kiyosaki, and all 3 of them were recommending network marketing. So I started doing my research, looked through all the network marketing companies, and came across Beachbody, and I thought, what is Beachbody? I know that name. And then I remember Beachbody. So I had ordered from Craigslist Insanity just a few months prior and quit after 3 weeks. I had no one supporting me, and I didn't even know there was a coaching opportunity. So when I found out, okay, I think this is something I'm interested in. I read through the policy and procedures manual in one night, told my husband about it, didn't think he was going to be supportive because he's never been really supportive in all my ventures before. And he said, what's the worst case that could happen? You get in shape and it may not work. So anyways, within 3 weeks, I had the trip to Utah with Jen and everyone else. And I knew by all the group and how positive everybody was and how nice everybody was to everybody that this is it. This is where I want to be. I loved it. And I think I went diamond in 60 days. So I'll tell you, I'm really big on signing people up right away as diamonds, even if they're customers. I don't know what Jen's opinion on that is. That is just something that has been how I've built my business. I will tell you a little bit about my family. My husband and I have been together for 15 years. We are high school sweethearts. My screen's not moving. There we go. We're high school sweethearts, and we have had 3 kids. Bam, bam, bam. I had 3 under 3 at one time. Isabella, Jackson, and Maximus. And the oldest, who's 17, is actually my cousin. My husband and I adopted 2 years ago due to hardships. And so I am raising a high schooler who's working and with a driver's permit and managing properties, real estate, and selling real estate part-time to build my Beachbody business. So that's a little bit about me. And I will get into our habits. So you are ruled by your habits. It takes a habit to replace a habit. Develop positive habits that will be in harmony with the achievement of your definite purpose or goal. And I don't know about you or any of you and how your schedule works and your routine, but what I was noticing is that I would get up in the morning, try and do my workout, prep my kids for the day, and then once I get into my day, I don't have time to focus and really build the proper energy to start doing my invites. So all day long, I was stressing about, I didn't do my invites today. I didn't do my business activity tracker. The most important things to build my business, I was not doing. And so I read this book, Morning Miracle, or Miracle Morning, I apologize. And what it starts with is your evening preparation. So actually, before I even got on this call, I prepped for tomorrow morning because I want to get as much sleep as I can if I can. But one of the things, I'm going to scoot up here, is once I get everything prepped, and I'll go over that, is I read this to myself. So I have this right next to my bed, actually behind my door. And so I'll read this. You can pick which one you like. The second one is my favorite. I am going to bed tonight at 9 p.m. and waking up at 4 a.m., which gives me 7 to 8 hours of sleep, just depending on whether I get to bed at 9 or 10. This is plenty. In fact, it is exactly what I need in order to perform at a peak level tomorrow. The reality is my mind controls my body, and I really only need as much sleep as I tell myself and choose to believe that I need. Many of the most successful people in history have functioned optimally on 4 to 6 hours of sleep, and I cannot allow myself to fall into the limiting belief that sleeping more will somehow improve my life. In fact, it will be seriously detrimental to my stress level, finances, relationships, career, and lifestyle goals. My quality of life, as I know it, depends on my waking up on time tomorrow. Now let me read this last sentence again, because to me, it has been the most determining factor for me getting up in the morning. In fact, it will be seriously detrimental to my stress level, finances, relationships, and career and lifestyle goals. And I guarantee you throughout my day before I read this book, that was true, completely true. Today I was up at 4 a.m. and have been consistently getting up at 4 a.m. except for Saturdays. I allow myself to sleep in. And in the afternoon, I am able to just be. If I would like to sit down with my kids and cuddle with them, if I want to take them to the park, I'm not stressing. I am completely focused on what I'm doing in the afternoon without any worries, because all my most important work has been done. So I'll tell you how I prep in the evening. What's really important is my alarm. So I have my alarm set in the kitchen, which you may not have that convenience, but think where you maybe have a bathroom close by, but my kitchen is very close to our master bedroom, so that's where I put my alarm. And I sleep in my workout clothes, because that's the first thing I'm gonna do in the morning after I do my silence activity, and I'll get to that if that doesn't make sense. And then before I turn off my alarm, I immediately go turn on the light. So in my brain, I tell myself, you cannot turn off that alarm until that light is on. Pop on the light, turn off the alarm, and then I start to fill my Energizer, or make my Energizer. I don't know if you're using that or not. Absolutely not. Who's down on the bottom picture where you're gonna turn your alarm off and hit the snooze because you wanna sleep in, and then once you do get up, you're kicking yourself because you hit the snooze button? That used to be me. So then what you do, as soon as you get into the state of calmness and you can settle down, you can do your affirmations and just take a little bit of time for silence. So I'll just sit on the couch, read my affirmations, which my affirmations are actually sitting right next to the couch right now, right next to the Bible. I do my devotion, and then I make sure I start my workout about 4:20, 4:30, no later than that. And then once my workout is finished, I am energized for the day. I'm pumped up, I'm ready to go. And normally when I do my workout, I'll listen to a little bit of workout music, and then I'll switch it over to personal development. And I'll get to why in a minute, but basically killing two birds with one stone. And I will get to the next slide and explain how this works. So here is how Hal explains how to win the day. If you win the morning, you win the day. Here's how to start the day off right. So silence, meditation, prayer, breathing, whatever works for you. I will do silence and a devotion in the morning, and then I have my affirmations. Now, if you do read this book, make sure that you're actually implementing it. So the first time I read the book, I didn't go through all this, and I wasn't doing my affirmations, and I wasn't sure what I needed to tell myself. So the second time I read the book, which I highly recommend doing, by the way, if you really want this to be a life change, I think you need to read it quite a few times. And go online and just look up affirmations and see what fits for you. So I printed out a few of them, and I choose, one for Monday, one for Tuesday, or you can have them all in the list and read them all in that same day. And then V, visualization. Imagine yourself doing each thing step by step that you need to do to accomplish your goals. And then imagine what you feel like when you succeed. And I will come to that back of that visualization up in the scribing in a minute. Then your exercise, which doesn't have to be anything big, but since we are Beachbody coaches, hopefully you're following a program and committing to something. And I will tell you, one of the things that I feel like has boosted my business huge because of this book is the exercise part and being accountable to my health. So every morning I post my accountability, and I was doing it just so my coaches and my customers were seeing me working out in the morning. And then what I noticed started to happen is they were committing more to being accountable with me and checking in more to the group. And I think when people start seeing you and you do it every day, who cares? I don't get a lot of likes off of it, but every time I see someone in the grocery store, at church, they're all, oh, I saw you did your workout, or you're looking good. Everybody's watching. They might not be liking it, but they're watching. And that's one of the biggest part of our businesses is the fitness and health. So that has kept me accountable in my business and my health, and also with this morning miracle exercise. And then reading, fill your brain with positive thoughts, which is our personal development. And scribing, writing or journaling is a great way to process your thoughts and reflect on your life. So I will tell you, with the visualization and the scribing, what's really interesting is I started journaling at night very short journal. And I will tell you what I was worried about or things I felt like I needed to change. It's not, you don't write anything negative in that scribing. You write what you've learned and what you need to work on, but nothing negative. And so I started doing that, and I noticed as I'd go back from the week prior, I would see all the stuff that I had learned from or also needed to work on. I felt like I had perfected it by the next week. For example, my team and I are working on following very closely on replicating a calendar from one of the top coaches. And I was so stressed about one of the things that she does, which was a clean eating group. And I was thinking to myself, this is so much. I've never done this before. And I just had that fear. And I told one of my coaches that I was training her how to do this. And I barely knew what I was doing myself. And I said, we just have to wing it. If we fail, we fail, and we know for the next time. So we just wung it. And actually, I think we had 2 people join from that group, the clean eating group. And we had 7 people total in that clean eating group. The second time around, in the second month we did the clean eating group, she felt very comfortable running it herself, and she asked me if she could do it herself. I just came in and encouraged the group and so on. And what happened is we had 18 people join and quite a few people interested challengers. And we haven't done our Beachbody Challenge group yet for this month. But when I first scribed in my journal, it was this, I've not done a challenge or a clean eating group. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm having to teach this coach what to do. And then now I'm like, this is easy. Why was I so worried about it? So what I like about the scribing is when you look back into what did I learn and what could I work on, I realized that the scribing was ways to look back and celebrate what I had done prior. Because we get into this daily routine, we're doing so much, yet we're not able to celebrate those small fears that we overcame. So I highly recommend that. And then another thing with, I know you have a lot on your plates right now, as I have on my plate, but I don't like to tell people that I'm really busy. What I like to, one of the things I've heard many times is the most successful people don't look busy or don't act busy. They have time to sit and talk. And that's been something that I'm noticing with the Miracle Morning is when I go to the coffee shop, I'm able just to, after I've done my Miracle Morning, dropped off my kids to preschool, I can go get a coffee, and I've had 4 people within the coffee shop just come up and talk to me and build great relationships and hand them a card or whatever. And because I was able to slow down and take that time and actually get to know them or talk to them, I was able to meet 4 contacts just in the coffee shop, even though I had talked to 20 people earlier that morning. And another important thing too is I used to be kind of leery about my invite, fear of rejection and so on. But I started doing, and this is just me, you don't have to do this, but I started contacting 10 to 20 people in the morning. And just by building relationships, and somewhere in there, when I feel like there's someone in there I can just do an invite to, where we built up enough relationship where I can send out that invite, I get my 3 to 5 invites in there. And then once I do my invites in my power hour, which is from 5:15 to 6:15, throughout the day, I don't answer texts unless I know that they're ready to join. Otherwise, I wait till the next morning to continue business building because I was wasting so much time throughout the day trying to get all this messaging done that I was a disaster. It's really what I look back thinking. I was a mess. So then on the power hour, to get into that, at 5, when I end my workout at 5, I post to my social media, and then when I get into my business activity tracker, Jen, is this what you use? Or do you guys use business activity tracker?
Some of us use that, and then we also use the Power of Threes.
Okay.
You've seen that one, but
all right,
kind of similar.
This is the one I'm using, and by the time I get into the office, before I was doing the Miracle Morning. I wasn't following this hardly at all. Didn't even want to look at it because I'm thinking there's no way I can catch up on all this and the day's almost over. I've got to go get my kids from school or whatever it was. Now, when I do my morning miracle and sit down, pretty much half of this is already completed by the time I'm sitting down. I've already done my workout, my shake. I've done my personal development with my workout. All I need to do is do my invites and contact my team, which when I check into my social media, I've basically checked in with my team. And then if I need to send out emails or messages or something sweet to one of my coaches, if something's going on, a birthday or whatever, I can message them as well. And one of the things that well, I'm sure you're using this knowing Jen's your coach, but the contact list is one of the things that I set out at nighttime and have prepared. So before I even take the kids to evening church or anything, I will go set out my contact list so I know exactly where I'm starting in the morning. My business activity tracker, which is, I put it away, it's not out right now. I actually laminated it for all my coaches, and so I just use an export marker and fill it out. But in network marketing, lead generation is the one thing that every marketer should take seriously, as it determines how much you can make with the business. One of the things that I did not mention that I should have is, and I'm messing up my thing here now, I read the Miracle Morning for network marketers. And so one of the things it mentioned is make sure you get your 1 hour of lead generating in. That's what most top network marketers do. And what was really neat about the Network Marketing Miracle Morning book is that it had top producers of many different network marketing companies who said exactly what their routine is. And every single one of them was they were early risers. They got their work done before they even started their day by doing their lead generating. They did their affirmations. So all of these things, the lifesavers, they were all doing these things in some shape or form in their own way. So the only addition for the Miracle Morning on the network marketing was that hour lead generating for work. And so I'm going to challenge you for the next 30 days, even if it's 6 minutes a day, to do a Miracle Morning. I challenge you to make your life a masterpiece. I challenge you to join the ranks of those people who live what they teach, who walk their walk. One of the things I ask myself is, Christian, are you acting as a top coach? Are you acting like someone you would admire? And I told myself, no, I am not. And so that's when I started replicating one of the top coaches' calendars, read this morning miracle. I asked Scotty what I needed to do that, and he said, read this, and I did. And I'm so pleased because for the rest of my life, I will be using this. My husband is not a morning riser, and he has seen me post every morning. He works nights and comes home at 8:30 in the morning, and when he's driving home, he rides with a different guy, and he'll see my post, and he'll be my first one to like my post. But I know he thinks she is crazy that she gets up at 4 a.m. And he said, where is this book? I'm going to read it. So my husband may be changing his life as well. But anyways, I hope that added value to all of you. And thank you for letting me be on this call. I just absolutely adore Jen, so thank you.